Heavy questions, but do you think worrying about relationships a lot at a young age is like bad? Depends, but worrying in what sense? Ideally, you would never worry about anything, to go back to the relationship stuff, but it's just not that simple, unfortunately. At the same time, and this is like the mindfulness Buddhism approach that I think is really good, if you're thinking about it, it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a thought. Thoughts don't really dictate anything. They exist, and it's really how you react to those thoughts that gives them any power to begin with. So if you're thinking about something bad, let it happen. There's two approaches. There's one that's like, oh, you should try to think about something else and stuff like that, but I think that can be pretty difficult, and I would just embrace it. Let your brain think the thought, and if it's not reacting by fighting against it, it's usually gonna lose its appeal pretty quickly. It's also a fun exercise my therapist told me, which is just let your brain think anything it wants for a minute. Just close your eyes, just think. You'd be pretty surprised, at least for me, how quickly it hits nothing. I think if it's worrying about getting into a relationship, I don't know, you should it's kind of unlikely that it's just gonna happen out of nowhere. I think you kind of have to put yourself in situations and in places for it to happen. So worrying about it in that sense, if you're not in a relationship and you want to be in a relationship, makes sense. But you can't just worry. You have to take the appropriate actions. If it's that you're a certain age and you haven't been in a relationship, or you're not in a relationship, you have to ask yourself if that's just something you feel bad about because it's something that's a societal expectation or a norm, or something that, that you're unhappy with. Is it, if I was 4 years younger, would I still be unhappy not being in a relationship? Or is it just I would like to be and I'm not? Take the age equation out of it. I think the whole idea of expecting to be something by a certain age, having achieved something by a certain age, is maybe one of the most crushing things about the society we live in. It can be, I don't know, it can be a lot of pressure, and I don't really think it's healthy. The last thing I expected was current relationship advice, but this is low-key peak. Look, if somebody prompts me, I'll talk about it. I'm very glad to talk about that sort of stuff and pass on my knowledge, what I learned from therapy. I think I'm not really qualified to give relationship advice, in the sense that it's hey, I fought with my girlfriend, what should I do? I mean, I can give you my best guess, but it's more relationship advice about how to live when you're not in a relationship, how you deal with that. There's some S-tier advice. I don't know. I learned from the best. And also, there's no universal solution for everyone. Everyone's different. Different things work for different people. I do hope it can help. I just had a talk about, not this exact same thing, but something similar with my mom today. About, the idea of being a certain age and being a certain place in life. Also, there's a Germa video I watched about that. There's it's called something like Germa's Genuine Advice, Slow Down, or something like that I think was really good. And I would recommend to anyone. Also, something that's important to mention is worrying doesn't solve anything, but at the same time, it comes, you worrying comes from, something that you're... if it's coming from a place of, I feel like I'm a failure or something like that, then that's stupid. But if it's coming from a place where it's just I would want to be in a relationship, then it's a sign of an issue that you should address in some way. It's just I don't mind being single sometimes, but then there's some other times where I feel like I need one. I want to, but I don't just want a girlfriend, someone who's like me and I actually like, Just, yeah, you want not just anyone. Someone special. I think that's pretty normal. I don't know. Then I'm starting remembering this one girl that I only talked to for literally a few minutes at Comic-Con. She's beautiful and we had so much fun talking to each other. We got a picture together. Do you have her contact somehow? Something I'll say is, I think And it's weird because getting rejected hurts and not going for it and nothing happening doesn't really hurt. I think in the long run, I've always regretted not going for it more. If you have like her Instagram or something, hit her up, or her phone number. There's nothing quite like the rush of asking somebody out. Exactly. I wish I had her Insta. Maybe there's some way you can trace back the steps. Because rushing to ask someone out works out well in Tomodachi. Okay, life isn't Tomodachi life. And also, I'm not saying you should ask somebody out like the moment you're like, oh, they're kind of cool. Do it whenever you feel comfortable doing it. The things I would do just to meet her again, with not even a guarantee she liked me. That's why, like, it's stupid, because in the moment you might not even realize, right? But hey, I don't know. Remember, like, next time you, like, hit it off with someone, even just briefly, I don't know, ask for their Discord, ask for their Instagram, ask for their number, or something like that. I literally went through 2025 Dublin comic pictures on the official account and scanned through the likes for ages. Damn! Okay, you know what? Hey, look, I think this is the sort of thing you leave up to fate. Also, it'd be a cute story if you go back to Comic-Con and you find her there. You meet up. That would be a great story. I'm rooting for you. I hope it works out. But, you know, life is unpredictable. And I wouldn't... don't get too hung up on it. Don't spend all day searching for that person. I went in March and didn't tell my friends, but I was scanning for her the whole time. Aw. Maybe the Comic-Con after that. We'll see.